All right, Yvonne. So this is the fuzz pedals, and yeah, it makes sense to hear these things. So, these are fuzz pedals I have, and I'll go through each one at a time and let you hear them and see what you think. Okay, cool. Okay, so I'm not the biggest fuzz pedal person, but these are the ones that I have. So yeah, it makes sense that we actually plug these things in and you get to hear them. So I got this little Roland practice amp, which I just have it set like clean. So you actually just get to hear what this is doing to a clean signal. And I'm going to use my blue Stratocaster looking old Ibanez Blazer. And yeah, so we'll just do these one by one and you can hear each one. So this guy is a Fuzz Face. This one is a silicon chip. There's also a germanium one that is red. The difference is germanium, it's temperature sensitive, so it sounds different, like depending how long it's been running and warms up and stuff. Some people prefer that, whatever. I got the silicon one, so this doesn't, it's less variable. I don't know. Famous Fuzz Face users: Jimi Hendrix, Eric Johnson, folks like that. But people that want to sound like Jimi Hendrix, use them. So yeah, you can see it kind of looks like a smiley face. The bigger one has like a label here, so it like makes like a little smile, whatever. But Fuzz Face. Okay, pretty clean. Here it is with the Fuzz Face. You can see why these are sometimes also called like a buzz. Like one of the early fuzz pedals was like a Buzz B or B-Bob buzz. I have the fuzz turned all the way up and the volume most of the way up. You can get more subtle. A little more subtle. Okay, and another, like one of the original OG circuits for fuzz was the Big Muff Pi, and there's been like so many versions of it. The Big Muff came around in the 70s. This is a op amp version, which again is just a type of chip. This particular one got popular because the 70s op amp version of the Big Muff was used by Billy Corgan and the Smashing Pumpkins, and it became very popular in the 90s because of him. Big Muff users would include like David Gilmour of Pink Floyd. Smashing Pumpkins is really what this pedal's about. Electro-Harmonix Big Muff Pi, one of the original fuzz circuits. So this is the Electro-Harmonix Big Muff Pi op amp version. So yeah, that's where I'll have it. Everything's sort of halfway up. So yeah, here's what you get. So a little more gritty, a little more granular. It's hard to describe sound, and I hope you can hear it, but it's a little angrier, a little less buzz and more sort of grit and dirt. I like this one a little better. You know, depends what you want to do and what you want to sound like. But big is in the name, Big Muff, so yeah, it's pretty good. This is a Behringer Super Fuzz, which sounds like the Boss Super Fuzz that at the time when it came out wasn't popular, so it's become rare. So people decided they like it, and it's expensive. So this company made a basic copy, which is very common with pedals. There's only so many circuits. People copy and will modify them, or sometimes just straight up copy. This is kind of a straight up copy of a Boss Super Fuzz. Cheap plastic, but if you're just playing at home, it should be fine. Sounds next is the Behringer Super Fuzz, which again, this is kind of a ripoff of a Boss Super Fuzz, just that those are hard to find. I think one of these days Boss will reissue it, or they have, or I don't know, something. But anyway, that's what this is. This is super cheap. I think these like 25 bucks, 30 bucks, and used probably even cheaper. But again, plastic, so may not be super durable here. I don't know if you could see when I held the pedal up. It has 3 modes, Fuzz 1, Fuzz 2, and Boost. You can use it as a boost pedal, so lots of things have a boost. Mostly clean. This is Fuzz 1 with, again, everything kind of midway up. Yeah, kind of buzzy and noisy. This is mode 2. I don't remember. So, like the 2 kinds of fuzzes, this has more of the Velcro ripping, kind of crackly. Boost. The Fuzz 1 is more of that kind of farty. So here you go. Those are the 2 kinds of fuzz. This pedal does both of them. This one, the more Velcro ripping one, sounds more like punk rock to me. But anyway, that's the Super Fuzz. You get 2 sounds out of one, and dirt cheap, whether you want to go with that or... and it can get pretty loud. So anyway, Super Fuzz. Weird and modern. This is a Z-Vex Fuzz Factory. Good. This is a Z-Vex Fuzz Factory. This was a 90s company that came up, Zachary Vex. It's loud and pretty crazy. Fuzz Factory users, I mean, probably lots of noisy 90s bands. I'm having trouble thinking of one, but yeah. Their stuff is like super loud and weird. Like it has a noise gate because it needs one because it generates so goddamn much noise. And I mean, it has a stab knob like that. That doesn't sound mellow at all, does it? Well, it's a noisy fuzz. So people who sound noisy fuzzy, I don't know. Yeah, next up, so help me, the fucking Fuzz Factory. This is so goddamn loud, but yeah, you're about to see that. And I'm pretty sure this is a fat switch on this one. Yeah, I think so. Anyway, Z-Vex Crazy Fuzz Factory. Okay, yeah, I just played this a little bit, and oh my god, it's so loud. Like this is turned up like maybe a third of the way, and it's so loud. So anyway, this has, if you saw a gate, it'll sort of quiet itself once noise gets below a certain level, and there's a knob where you can change that, because you'll see it's just like without it. That's the third mode, the middle switch. And the one first. they're a little different, like all louder. The stab is making it brighter, more of the high end for that like sizzle, and like it gets loud. Yeah. Anyway, like I said, ZVEX stuff a little bit nuts, and generally super loud. And this is sort of my last fuzz. This is a Vox Trike Fuzz. They had a whole series of these things with, I don't know, they were all supposed to be, I don't know, like dirt bikes or something. Okay, and the Vox Trike. So a lot of times fuzz gets mixed with an octave, as is the case here. It has octave, either just a lower octave, higher, or both. So that's kind of cool. So that kind of makes this, like I was saying, the MXR Blue Box is the Fool in the Rain thing. That's an octave down. Actually, that might be both 1 and 2 octaves down with the fuzz, but whatever. It has 2 different volume knobs. I guess one for the main signal and then one for the octave thing, tone and gain. So yeah, you actually can get a bunch of stuff out of this. Has a standby switch. I don't know what that's about. And see, it has a little red light in there that lights up. That's supposed to make it look like there's a tube or something. I get there's just a red light in there. Okay, so this is just the clean amp. Let's do an octave down. I'm going to set both the volumes about the same, like straight up in the middle. Yeah, I'll kind of do everything sort of in the middle. Okay, see. So you can really hear there octave dividers like that. People talk about tracking, and there you go. Doesn't track very good. You see the octave kind of comes in and out. So I'm going to turn up. See, I turned up octave 2, volume 2, which is for the octave. So you hear it a little more pronounced, but yeah, it's kind of glitchy, right? I'll turn down the tone and up the gain. And it starts to get pretty nasty. Okay, let's try with the octave up one. And that, I just turned that down because that higher octave is really piercing, even with the tone down. But if I turn the tone up, then wow, that's really piercing. But there's that. So you can see, you can really get some mileage out of it. I'm going to put the octave on both, so you get both a higher and a lower octave. People use this to get like kind of synthesizer-y kind of sounds. If you do that like it with a drop tuning or something, you can start to get, you know, spooky old horror movie vibes and stuff. So I don't know, for me with the octave up, down, or both option, and you could just turn down the octave all the way down. Anyway, you can sort of control how much of that octave, so if you really don't want to hear it, you can turn it down. So there's that too. I don't know, for me, as far as versatility, I kind of dig the Vox Trike, again, because that octave thing is so nice. Not the hugest fuzz guy. This I find kind of hard to control, and it's just so noisy. I rarely use it, which is funny because this was kind of an aspirational thing back when there weren't many boutique pedal companies like this, so many today. yeah, these were, kind of oddball and hard to get. Kind of a classic, I guess. I thought it sounded okay. You get two voices with this guy, so there's that. This, I think, overall just sounds pretty good, and I don't think I did this with the op amp off. It actually has two modes. I think the op amp sounds better. That's kind of why I got this one. Again, I'm not the big fuzz guy. And the Fuzz Face, a classic, but to me, it only sounds good when it's cranked to get some good fuzz. And, I don't know. It's interesting, though, like it shows you on the sweep of the knob there's that little white line as if kind of telling you, like, yeah, you should turn it up to there, because you should. Again, probably pretty cheap. Cheapest, if you want to try something out super cheap. Or whatever, let me know. I can send you this, and you can try out the whatever one of these, because again, I'm not using them at I like the octaves thing, but fuzz. Oh yeah, and something I forgot to mention, especially with older fuzz circuits, like the Maestro Fuzz, the Rolling Stones Can't Get No Satisfaction, Jimi Hendrix, Fuzz Face, 1970s Big Muffs, and even in their modern iterations, they don't like anything in front of them. You should have your guitar, first thing it hits is a fuzz. I know I said, I have a wah pedal first. I have a boost pedal first sometimes. If you use fuzz, it kind of has to go first, because it has to do with the voltage of your guitar signal. And if it's coming after another modern pedal, that modern pedal probably has a buffer in it, which is going to raise the level of the signal, which is usually a good thing, except for fuzz pedals. They don't want a hotter signal. It screws it up and it makes it sound different and weird. So see what order stuff goes in, people argue about endlessly. And yep, to me, a boost needs to go first, unless you have a wah pedal, or if you have a fuzz. Old fuzz circuits have to go first. If you have other stuff in front of it, it's going to make everything sound weird and bad, especially when that fuzz is on. I don't completely know why. You got to talk to an electrical engineer, but it has to do with the voltage and what happens to it coming into a fuzz circuit and how it processes that voltage. That much I know. So that's my last bit of advice on fuzz. And then after that, you're on your own. As I said, I'm not the big fuzz person. It's, depends what you're playing and what you want to do.